begin by taking a good posture, and at a certain point in the practice, we're going to be opening our eyes. So you'll want to turn your device or your screen so that you're not looking directly into the screen. But to start with, let's close our eyes, get fully connected to our body. The more we're connected to what's always present, that's our body and our perceptions, the less likely we are to get caught up in thoughts and drift off into daydreams. So let's fully inhabit our bodies. Feel your sit bones, however you're sitting in a chair or a cushion, pressing in. That's your base. If you're in a chair, have your feet about hip width apart, and have your lower legs, your shins be vertical, perpendicular to the ground. If your knees are higher than your hips, however you're sitting, it's going to put a strain on your hips and your lower back. So just widen, let your knees open up and widen, and let your legs cross at the ankles. Feel like your torso is upright but not rigid. And you want your weight distribution to be even on your sit bones, not too far left or too far right. If you can practice without sitting back and leaning back against the chair, that's helpful. But if you have a condition where you have to, at least have something tucked behind the small of your back so you can feel that uprightness. And you're not leaning forward or tilted back. Imagine that there's a straight line from the back of the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Imagine that straight line, your neck comes back and your chin comes in a little bit, and it allows a direct flow in through your nostrils, straight down into your lungs. We're going to breathe in through our nostrils. Out, it's okay to breathe out through your mouth as well as your nostrils. But that posture allows for that smoother flow of air. Also, if our head's tilted down, we get sleepy. If our chin's tilted up, we get spaced out. And if our chin's going forward, it's like we're ready to go. So this is more settled and stable posture. Upper arms are hanging straight down from your shoulders. Bend the elbows and have your forearms go along your thighs, hands palm down on each thigh. And you can experiment with this. Feel like you're raising your sternum, your breastbone, the tiniest bit up and forward. You'll see it opens your chest. Shoulders go back in line with your ears. It takes a little bit of extra effort. But you have a more solid back, open front. We'll take a few breaths, and with each out-breath, imagine that any unnecessary tension is flowing down and out of you. Breathe out and let go of the tension around your face, your head, and your neck. Breathe out and let your shoulders just hang down. Breathe out. Let your torso sink down into your sit bones. Breathe out and unclench. Let go of any tension in your deep belly and pelvic region. Breathe out and let the tension flow down and out through your arms. Breathe out and let any tension flow down and out through your legs. Now rest your awareness deep in the core of your torso. You have depth, you're three-dimensional, so halfway between the front and the back. It'll sort of feel like it's just in front of your spine. A few inches below your navel. And feel again, three-dimensionally in all directions, there's an expanding of that core as you breathe in, contracting as you breathe out. Let your body breathe however it will. Long or short, deep or shallow breaths, doesn't matter. But just observe the feeling. Tune into the feeling deep in your core. The rhythm of the breath going in and out. Like gentle waves lapping up the shore of a big lake. Coming up, flowing back down into the water. Just relax into that rhythm. No place to go, nothing to do. But enjoy the soothing rhythm of filling and emptying. You may experience some thoughts bubbling up. The more you stay focused on that deep core feeling, the rhythm and the sensations, the less powerful the thoughts are. They become like wispy clouds rather than a thunderstorm. Very gently open your eyes about halfway. Check your posture. And rather than looking at something particular, just be aware of the space that your body is sitting in. Keep connected to the core. But now you're aware of the space that your body's sitting in. This is the space of awareness. So just notice as you stay connected to the feeling of filling and emptying, with awareness of the space that your body's sitting in. Notice what it's like when thoughts appear. Notice them without following them. If the thoughts have swept you away, notice the difference in the feeling. Notice how the thoughts completely filled your mind, so there was no bodily sensation, no awareness of perceptions. Completely in the dream. And the difference when you woke up and came back to posture, the feeling in your core, the space you're sitting in. You can relax your posture, move a little bit so you don't get too stiff. And that was the practice of mindfulness of body, mindfulness of breathing, and mindfulness of the distinction between being off in thoughts and being present within the space of our experience. Now, when you're ready, take your posture again, but this time let your eyes be open naturally, not looking up towards the horizon particularly, but just ordinary, wherever your eyes rest, whatever direction they rest in. And open up your peripheral vision. Now we're going further to engaging with our world. We do the first practice to settle, center, and practice recognition. Am I off in thoughts? Am I awake? Now our practice is engaging our world. So let your perceptions come to you. Visual, colors, shapes, shades of light and dark. But notice what your mind is focusing on. Are you focusing on what you're seeing? There's sounds near and far, loud and soft. Are you focusing on what you're hearing? Bodily sensations? Are you focused on that? Smells, tastes? And again, are you aware of your thoughts? Or are you captured by them? Notice when you're experiencing your perceptions, are you simply seeing, or are you then thinking about what you're seeing? If you can, notice the difference between your experience of just seeing and what happens when you start thinking about what you're seeing. What does that do to your perception? Same thing with hearing and bodily sensations. Notice the difference between noticing your thoughts and what it feels like to be carried away by them. We'll do that for a few minutes. And now you can do this last contemplation with your eyes open or closed. Tune into your heart center, center of your chest. If you want to put your hand there, you can. At heart level. And understand, as we said, our nature is the potentiality for wisdom and compassion. So we're tapping into that potential. And recognizing how much suffering there is in the world because of a lack of wisdom and compassion. Because people's minds are ruled by ignorance, intolerance, greed, hatred, anger, jealousy. All these poisonous feelings. And so in this contemplation, we work with our breath just as a rhythm, that as you breathe in, engender this wish that everyone could be free of those poisonous emotions. And as you breathe out, that everyone could tap into their wisdom and compassion. Breathe in freedom from being controlled by ignorance and intolerance, greed and jealousy. Breathe out access to the perspective of insight and the potential for warmth, kindness, and love. If your mind turns to yourself, it's the same thing. As you breathe in the wish that we could be free ourselves from all the negative emotions that sweep us away, that we could trust our insight and kindness. Now let go of that contemplation. And let's just resettle and recenter ourselves. Posture, breathing in our core, presence in the space that we're sitting in. And we like to conclude the practice as we talked about at the beginning. The intention to benefit others, the practice of recognition and awareness, and then may we carry this into our everyday lives and continue to benefit ourselves and others. So you can repeat after me or put in your own words. May the practice I have just done be of even more benefit to others than to myself. And that's a nice expression of generosity. So thank you for your kind attention in this mindfulness, awareness, and compassion practice.